Hey YouTube, what's happening? Only me, old bloke. I'm just trying to be a young YouTuber. Oh. Yeah, look. I've been busy. Look at my bed. Look at my table. I've got my fridge in here. Under the bed, I've got a toilet and my chair. This big box here, this old trunk, is I'm going to use this as a platform for the cooker and also for storage. I'm almost there. I need some curtains up at the windows, obviously, but I'm getting there. I'm quite pleased with the thing. That's Mia's bed. Oh, that's where she can sit if she wants. I mean, she'll probably be on my bed most of the time. Not when I'm sleeping in it, because it's not very wide, but it's got a double mattress. Memory foam mattress, but I fold it over into so it fits on a single bed. It's a double in case I meet some beautiful woman on the road and she wants to come back and have a bit of jiggy. I do talk a load of crap, don't I? Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to try an experiment now. I'm going to bring my computer in to the van and see if I can work it in here. So we'll be back in a little while. I forgot to mention that the table is one of those tables that goes over a bed. You can, you know, the bottom of it goes under a bed. It's mainly for people who are bedridden, I suppose, or just lazy buggers. But it was in my studio, as you can see. It's still got loads of paint on it. I've got to clean it or not. But yeah, it's so handy because it just actually fits under the bed. It just slides under there, so, and it can be used for, I can have my meals on it. It also has got a slope. You can slope it. I'll just show you that. Hang on. You can raise it up and down like that. If you undo it now, you just raise it up and down. And if I tighten this side up and I can slope that side down, makes a very good drawing table. If I want to do any drawing in here sometime. Yeah, so it's just utilising. I've utilised what I've got. Apart from the bed, I've bought the bed. It's a what do you call it? A visitor's bed, really, in your house. Except that I've changed the mattress and it just folds up. It can fold up into nothing if I want it. But I'll probably leave it down like that so Mia can lie on it when we're travelling. That's it for now. As I say, I'll be back in a minute with a computer. I'm going to tell you a story tonight about the class system, and how it affected me a couple of times in my life. So, here we are, Mia and I, in the van. She's on the bed. She's got plenty of room there, look. We're not staying in here tonight, which is just, I say, it's just practicing. I've got that headlamp torch on that pointing at me, think I've got one of the spotlights on, but they're not making much difference. I'll put this one on. You can turn it towards me, but it's shining a bit. Yeah, so there I am. Oh, that's better. Not very good lighting, but then that's probably a good thing as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, I'm going to turn this camera off now and start on the computer, which seems to be working all right in here, but I'm only a few meters from home, so it's on my own Wi-Fi probably. Well, I was just talking on this on the camera. I thought this was switched on, but it wasn't. So yeah, I've got my computer working fine in here, but then, as I say, I'm not very far from home. A few meters actually. I've got my mobile phone, because I think you can use your mobile phone as a Wi-Fi hotspot when necessary, but I'm not far enough away from home to try that, even if I knew how to do it. Oh yeah, I was going to just talk about what I thought was a class thing. Very simple. I'm very humble. I'm from very humble beginnings. In fact, they're so humble I don't really even know how humble they were. You know. I've told you a bit about my beginnings, and but when you're poor, it teaches you things. One of the things it taught me, this is going to sound silly, is to take your chances. So when I was walking home one day along a public footpath, not too far from here, I saw a big branch had fallen from a tree. I say big branch, it wasn't that big. It was big enough for me to just heft on my shoulder and carry it home, about a mile, I think. Yeah, it's about a mile. And this footpath that the branch had fallen onto was right next to a great big posh house. You know, a mansion sort of thing, where the big wigs live. And I was walking home across the field and with this over my shoulder, and this bloke comes running up behind me. "Stop thief!" "Stop thief!" I thought it's all going back to medieval times. "Stop thief!" Or what is it, Charles Dickens times anyway. Victorian times. Yeah, it's like a scene out of Mr. Pickwick. So I stopped. You've stolen that piece of tree." I said, "I didn't steal it." I said, "I picked it up. It was across the footpath and I thought I'd make use of it." "You've no damned right." Anyway, I had a real ding-dong with this posh bloke. And in the end, I gave him his branch back. I told him to stick it up his arse, or words to that effect. And just went home. And it just... Years ago, if I'd done that a couple of 100 years ago, picked that bit of wood up and walked off with it, I could have been hung. And the people who would have sentenced me would be exactly the type of bloke who had a go at me for picking it up. Do you see where I'm coming from? Anyway, so the next little incident was, I got over that eventually. These things used to take me ages. To get over, especially when I'd had to control myself, because by then You know, I had a wife and child, and I had to think, I don't want to get in trouble anymore. The next incident was I had a little truck. Some of you might remember the Morris J4. Goes back a bit, doesn't it? 70s, I think it was. Yeah, it was a Morris J4 pickup, and I had a little business picking up rubbish out. You know, people. You know, when they put stuff in skips. Well, in those days, I used to offer to do it for them, put it into my little J4 truck and take it away to the tip. It's quite a lucrative little job. I quite enjoyed it, but Christ, it was hard work sometimes, shoveling hardcore onto the back of that truck. But I did it. You know, I was quite fit. Where am I going? Oh yeah, one day I got a call, and it was some bloke in up country a bit, in the posh areas, who wanted me to clear out the drainage ditch around his property. So I went to see him, and it was another big posh house, and he was very, 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 very posh. And his missus was there, and oh, come in, very welcoming they were. Come in, come in. So I went in, and no, I didn't know. I wasn't invited in. Sorry, I'm telling a lie. We went into the back garden, and there was a table and chairs, and his wife brought out tea in little posh cups with a teapot, milk jug, sugar bowl, tongs, and we had a cup of tea and discussed the work, cleaning out the ditch, and we arranged it and came to a price, and I said I'd be there on a certain day. It's all very, very, it was a nice exchange with them. They were very, very pleasant people. The day arrived. It's quite a long way from home, and it was a horrible bloody day. Torrential rain, gale force winds. I thought, oh God, this is going to be fun. But I set off anyway. I thought, well, it might clear up by the time I get. By the time I got there, it was even worse. And I knocked on the door, and the lady answered it. And I said, oh, I'm awfully sorry, love. I don't think I'll be able to do the job today. I think it's a bit too wet and hazardous. And she said, oh, that's all right, very well. And so I left. I went home. And, well, I can't remember exactly what happened, but I'd obviously arranged to come back another day. Now, a couple of days later, a few days later, we got a letter. Well, I got a letter. My wife opened it, as wives do. And it was from this man. His wife, he said, I can't remember the exact one. I do wish I'd kept that letter. It was to do with me having the temerity to call at the front door and to address my wife as love. She's not your love. And then he went on to say, in fact, I've done the job myself. It took me 5 minutes. And, you know, so I got upset. So my wife, she got upset as well. So she wrote him a stinking letter telling her, singing my praises, telling him what a wonderful hard worker I was and stuff like that. Then we got another letter back from him, and he said, thank you so much for your letter. I'm keeping it. It's going to be a wonderful conversation piece. Next time I have guests round for dinner, we can discuss it. It was horrible. It was a horrible letter. Made me feel like absolute nothing. I looked this bloke up. He was an eminent surgeon. I looked him up in the phone book, and this shows you what he's like. He had all his honours and everything after his name. Mr. such and such, surgeon, such as that. All military honours he had. And, you know, I'm always respectful of that, people who earn that sort of accolade. But having learnt what sort of person he really was, I changed my mind about him. So it was just another little incident of the them and us mentality. But of course, as I've been thinking about this today, when I was thinking about what I'd talk to you about, suddenly occurred to me it's not just the upper classes, is it, who treat others with such disdain? Everyone does it. I mean, the working class man is just as capable of snobbery as the upper class gentleman. Just that we don't perhaps see it in the same way from our own class of people, and we just see these snobbish people as thinking they're above us, which a lot of them do. Although in my time I've met some very, very aristocratic people. As an artist, I've painted a few, and they are. I genuinely do like the. I suppose you call them the minor aristocracy. I genuinely do like them, but there is a them and us mentality, isn't there? But as I say, it's not just them. Everyone can be like it. I suppose we could all be like it in some sense or other. I wonder what I'd feel like if a branch fell down. Well, I wonder what I'd feel like if a branch fell down and someone went off one of my trees and someone came along and took it. I mean, I didn't even take it from that first guy's land. It was on the public footpath. But I'm saying I wonder what I'd be like. But I know what I'd be like. I'd be pleased that they took it. I'd say, yes, you're welcome. You wouldn't even have to ask. Just take the damn thing. It's only a branch. Yeah. I don't really know where this conversation's going. I suppose there's a moral to life somewhere in it. But yeah, that's it. I come from humble beginnings, and I still pick up sticks if I think they're not too far from home and I can carry them home, and I'll help, light my fire with them. Makes sense, doesn't it? Comes from my mother. I'm not sure about my mother at all, really. I thought she was from farming stock, from way up in Scotland. Well, I know that's where she comes from, but she's always, every time I used to see my mum, it would always be, there'd be gypsy caravans, beautiful ornate caravans she'd take me to, and she was always friendly with everyone. And I think I might have told you the story about when she came and took me out of the children's home once, and we ended up out in the countryside, in the forest, in a encampment of bender tents made out of any old thing, and all these people cooking over their fires with big pots of stew going. So whether she was gypsy stock, I don't know. I suspect she was. I look at photographs of her, and not that I don't care. I'd be happy to become from that stock. I'd be happy because it would give me a proper background to talk about. As it is, people say, where are you from, John? I don't really know where I'm from. What's your background? Well, all I can tell them is children's home, foster parents. It's not really much to talk about there, is there? Although having said that, I tend to do it quite a lot. I've got quite a few stories. Anyway, that's it. Mia and I are going to leave you now. I'm not going to sleep. I don't think I'm going to sleep in here tonight. Just like she might. Look at her great big lump. Mia, can we have a look at your nose? It's a lot better, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, everyone. Thanks for looking in. I'll see you all again soon, I hope. Hope I get out on the bike soon. It's been another horrible, bloody, wintry day today. Hope to get out on the bike. Take care, everyone. Lots of love. Bye for now.